As we start our first Look 6 streaming on this Thursday, I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole, and we're going to check in with Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord, who's tracking some even warmer weather for us today.
Yeah, just a little bit warmer each and every hour of the day today, heading into the afternoon as well. So that's where we're starting off today. A little bit warmer out the door this morning, and it'll be a little warmer this afternoon too, with a beautiful sunrise here as we're starting off. We're numbers in the 60s, down to 64, a little bit of a southeast wind at 7 miles per hour and a dew point that's in the upper 50s. So current temperatures now 61 to about 64 degrees. As we make our way through the next hour or two, these will start to warm steadily. But you can see a couple of 50s showing up on the Iowa side. Iowa's been consistently the cooler spot all week long, as every day the temperature just gets a little bit warmer. We'll notice a little more humidity as well. Low end of the muggy range with some of those dew points into the afternoon and evening. So you'll probably notice a little bit more of that. And, well, here's the wind gust forecast. That was supposed to be a little bit stronger than that. I brought the wrong graphic in. You can see here gusts 20 to maybe 25 miles per hour during the course of the day today. And those will be a little more noteworthy. Same story on Friday, same story on Saturday. Satellite and radar show just how things are looking as far as cloud cover goes. You can see some scattered clouds in the area, maybe a couple of sprinkles showing up down to the south, but I don't think we're going to see much out of these clouds today. Models don't even do a very good job of showing those clouds, so it gives you an idea of how quickly I think they're going to go away. By 9 o'clock, we're in the 60s. By noon, we're up near 80 degrees, and then from there, 80s are likely all afternoon long. It's all a matter of how far into the 80s do we get. And well, today it's a little bit further. 86 was the high yesterday. Many of us will go about 86 to 88 for the afternoon high again today, and then it gets a little warmer yet heading into Friday. But notice how quiet things will be this evening. Just a warm evening for any high school football games out there on a Thursday evening. By 10, we just keep falling, and then overnight tonight, a little bit warmer yet to start off tomorrow. I think it might be a little bit too cool, some of the numbers to start Friday morning, but to give you a little idea, another morning in the 60s. 92 on Friday, 90 on Saturday. The wind will be of note each and every day as we go through the course of the rest of the week and into the weekend as well.
Okay. We're talking a lot about records too, because these look like pretty warm days, but you're saying we actually may not beat it.
Yeah, we backed off a little bit on the high in our forecast. The overall record for October is 96, so I think we're going to avoid that. We've done that twice in the month of October. So the day that's probably going to be the closest to a record will end up being Saturday. 90 in the forecast, 92 is the record. That was back in 2005, so about 20 years ago. So that's the day we'll be watching to see if we can maybe tie it. But overall, I think this 5-day stretch could go in the record books as maybe a top 5 warmest start to October. We'll see where the numbers end up and where we are amongst the rankings by the time we get through this and into next week. But winds will be the story helping to warm us. Gusts near 20 to 25 miles per hour today. Notice these into the afternoon tomorrow, near 25 to maybe 30 miles per hour. Saturday continues to look like the day with the most wind. Gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. That's a day where a lot of people will be trying to go to the pumpkin patch, enjoy a Saturday, maybe head down to Lincoln. Make sure you weigh down those tailgate tents because these will be blowing most of the afternoon and even into the evening. Then by Sunday, you'll notice the gusts up near 30 to 35 miles per hour for a little while into the afternoon before a front moves in. So if you're heading to the game in Lincoln, here's how it's looking. It still looks warm, right up near 90. Kickoff's about 3 o'clock. We can still warm into the 4 o'clock hour, and I think we will do that with a high of about 90 degrees expected. South wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Will maybe play a factor in the game, but at least it'll keep the air moving a little bit while you're down there and sweating a little bit. 90 on Saturday, 87 on Sunday. We're going to talk more about these rain chances late Sunday and into Monday here coming up a little bit, and you see how it's cooled things down a little bit. Looks a little bit better for some fall weather early on in the week next week, so that's good news there, but it's mostly due to clouds and some rain. I don't know if it's going to be all that sustained.
I thought I'd be done with the shorts by now for sure. Apparently not.
Not yet. Keep handy.
Okay.
All right, let's get an update on traffic because I-80 has been a problem all week long.
Same spot too. It's overnight construction, or maybe it's just construction. I don't even know if it's overnight anymore. It just keeps on lingering into the morning hours, and it's that I-80 area, the bend from in the bend there near 680, and you can see what's happened is it's really caused some slowdowns with the traffic, and it's changing a little bit, but there you can see the flashing lights, the road crews there. It's right around I Street on I-80, and it's right about here where the bend happens on I-80, and then 680 meets up with it. So it's causing backups on both roads. And then you have just the regular construction ongoing a little further to the south, down south of L Street. And we've had some crashes in this the last couple of mornings. These are just look like to be the slowdowns due to the volume being forced through likely one less lane. So there's the slowdowns there. You got the normal slowdowns around Dodge. You can notice here, Boys Town area along Dodge, we've ended all that overnight construction from 132nd to 168th. That's all wrapped up, no big problems there. It's just starting to get your normal slowdowns in other spots, but it's that 680 and 80 interchange that seems to be causing the biggest issues out there. So watch for that. Otherwise, Elkhorn to downtown looking pretty good right now. Watch sun glare here over the next hour or so. That will start to cause a problem, I think, as we make our way through the course of the next couple of next couple of hours. So we'll see how that trends as we get a little closer.
Okay, Rusty, thank you. In the meantime, Omaha police confirm with
Put it down. Let me talk to you.
I don't want to shoot you!
Okay, pepper ball. Pepper ball.
Ball's going out.
Come out.
We got a better look at the body cam footage that shows what happened when a traffic stop turned deadly in Council Bluffs. The Pottawatomie County Attorney says officers were justified in the shooting death of 48-year-old Michael Broyles. Now you can see Iowa State Trooper Zach Jensen trying to stop Broyles right when his car pulling a trailer stops. Broyles gets out and aims his gun. Trooper Jensen took cover behind his cruiser, yelling at Broyles to drop the gun. About a minute later, Broyles gets into his car and flees onto I-29.
Now, he eventually took an exit, stopping under an overpass, tucking himself behind a pillar with his shotgun in hand. Despite ordering him to surrender and firing pepper ball rounds, investigators say Broyles eventually did point his weapon at officers and fired. Authorities returned fire, eventually hitting Broyles. He died at the hospital. Investigators did reveal Broyles had told family he would never go back to jail. Police are working to find out what led up to two men getting shot in the metro.
Now, officers say they showed up at the hospital with gunshot wounds. Investigators determined the shooting scene was at 28th and T near the old Southside Terrace apartments. Neither of the victims have life-threatening injuries. If you know anything, you should call Omaha Crime Stoppers. Well, this is Hispanic Heritage Month.
And our Marie Cade shows us how one metro organization is working to create medical resources for the Latino community.
We are currently in the midst of Hispanic Heritage Month, and one organization is shining a light on the work that they do for that community. So joining me today, we have Vivian Garcia with One World Community Health Center. Thank you so much for being here. First off, tell everybody, what is One World's mission, and tell us about some of the work that you do for the Hispanic community.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for having us. Yes, One World's mission is, bringing all the healthcare services to all of our community in the best care possible, providing to our community as well.
So how is the Hispanic and Latino community specifically fall into that mission and the work that you do? Are there any special programs that are shining a spotlight on that community?
Yeah, so we do have several programs. A lot of the things that we do and the work that we do is just specifically with the Latino Hispanic community, but all of our services at the end of the day are for everyone. But we do have a specific program right now that we focus in prevention of diabetes.
Why do you think it's important to have a program specifically tackling that issue?
I think it's very important because there are not a lot of programs in Spanish, first of all, and a lot of the programs that we do currently have are not tailored to our community, to our culture. And so our community health worker and our lifestyle coach kind of takes that program from the CDC and wraps it around our community needs and their cultural needs. And so a lot of the things that we try to do, we try to incorporate what is needed based on our culture, based on our language, because we do know that there's a lot of language barriers. We know that there's transportation issues, childcare issues. So we try to go above and beyond to break those barriers, to bring these services to our community. And a lot of the programs that we also run are during non-regular business hours, which is also a huge barrier for our community that we serve.
Do you think there is more of a need than is being met here in the Omaha metro community for these services?
Unfortunately, I think that that's always going to be a huge need, and that's not going to go away. Specifically right now with everything that's happening, I think that we need to have more services for our community more than ever.
Really, really important work. And of course, this is only a small percentage of the work that you guys do. So where can people go to learn more if they want to learn more about the work that you do?
Of course, they can visit our website at oneworldomaha.org, and they can also call our main line, ask for the outreach department, and we can let everybody know about other services that we're providing. The good thing about our department is that all of the services that we provide are completely free of cost.
Thank you so much. Vivian Garcia again here from One World. We're going to have all of this information for you up on our website, firstalert6.com, and for now we'll send it back to you.
Marie Kate, thank you very much. At the Safety Desk this morning, we're back after this.
Welcome back, everyone. We got a beautiful look out across the city, 144th and Dodge, at Union Bank and Trust camera there. You can see the slowdowns on eastbound Dodge. They're starting to see the volume pick up a little bit there, so be mindful of that. That and westbound I-80 around 680 having the biggest issues on the roads this morning. Watch for construction on I-80 in that 680 area. Beautiful sunrise otherwise. We're starting off with just a few clouds around. Warm and breezy with sunshine. That's the story in the weather headlines today. Highs near 90 for several days here, the way it's looking right into the weekend. And then as we make our way towards Sunday evening, some thunder showers try to bring an end to this heat. Looks like it'll do so. There you go. Monday with a high of 70, a little closer to that average of 73, but we're near 90, a good 20 degrees above average until then. So first alert forecast. By the afternoon, we'll get us up to about 88 today. You can see how quickly we get to 80, and then it's all a matter of how many degrees each hour we can warm beyond that, because I think 2 degrees or so will get you there. Wind gust forecast out of the south today will get you near 20 to 25, probably 25 to maybe near 30 on Friday. I think that might be a little underdone Friday. Saturday, though, 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. That continues to look like the windiest day. And we'll watch for maybe some fire danger on that day, too. It'll depend on just how much moisture we can drag in with that. But Sunday still looks blustery until the front drops in from the northwest. So we'll get a wind out of the south most of Sunday before the front tries to bring that evening chance of some storms. So watch Friday. Get a little spike on the muggy meter here, low end of the muggy range late Friday. Saturday takes that dip. So we'll watch that. And I think that could possibly increase the fire danger a little bit. That spike here on Sunday, that's when the front goes through, then behind the front we'll dip down a little bit and have some comfortable weather next week. But rainfall potential from that front, let's talk a little bit about it, because Through Sunday evening, not too much to worry about, but models trying to hint at a pretty good swath of some rain. And you can see how it's right in this area here. We're going to be watching where this axis sets up, and that'll determine just who gets the heaviest rain. Now, I think 5 inches for Omaha is obviously a little overdone, but within this, there could be some heavier rain totals. So we're going to watch this closely to see where models try to put that with the front moving through Sunday night into Monday. So that's why we bumped up the rain chances a little bit. Sunday night with the front, you can see how we get a broken line of some coverage there. It just increases as we go deeper into the evening, and overnight could start Monday with some rain on the map. And if it's right over the metro, that could cause problems for the morning commute. None of this looks all that strong or severe, but rain for the morning commute will first alert you to that potential for Monday with rounds of rain there, and then cooler air. It'll be the clouds and the rain that really keep us cool to start off next week, with that front kind of dropping in and hanging out for a little bit. Hence, we get the rain.
Yeah, so we see that 70 degrees there. Is that the start of something? I don't know, that maybe starts with an F and ends with an L that we've been looking for?
Trying to think, what else were we trying to spell there? Yeah. All right, we have some pretty good weather beyond that. So nothing will be in the 80s or 90s the way it looks. But I do think upper 70s are back in play by the end of next week. Almost all the numbers next week are still above average. I still think warmer than average weather is going to win out, but occasionally you might get a storm system that tries to cool it off a little bit with some clouds. You can see into the middle of the month here, we're talking about wetter than average weather pattern that starts up probably next week. It still leans on the warmer than average side, so it won't be too long before we're right around 70 for an average high, and I think we're going to be a little bit above that into at least mid-October anyway, minus a day or two.
All right, Rusty, thank you very much.
You bet.
In the meantime, new details on a story that we have been following. We're getting some answers after 3 cats were found dead in a Bellevue neighborhood. Police tell us they believe one of the cats was likely killed by another animal. As for the other 2, police think they do know what happened, but they are waiting on a confirmation of facts from the Humane Society. A good reminder, don't let your guard down when taking animals outside.
All right, 1 day has now passed since the shutdown officially took effect.
Yesterday, lawmakers failed to advance the House-passed Republican funding bill for a 3rd time. Just hours after the government shut down, there was quite the gathering outside Nebraska Representative Don Bacon's office concerning citizens looking to voice those concerns directly to Bacon. They demanded the government reverse cuts to Medicaid and end the shutdown. Bacon responded to those demands later in the day.
I don't think we should ever be cutting health care. It's a basic, essential service for millions of people. And again, no matter how you access your health care, Medicaid's an essential service. It keeps our workers working and our communities thriving.
There's concern, and I think some legitimate concerns, that a lot of lower income and middle income people will see their Obamacare or their health care premiums increase significantly. There's a lot of Republicans that are concerned about this as well.
We also spoke with Nebraska Representative Mike Flood and Senator Pete Ricketts. They both say they are not sure when the shutdown will come to an end.
Well, coming up, it is the 75th anniversary of one unlikely round-headed hero and his buddies.
More on the comic strip turned global phenomenon when we come back.
Welcome back, everybody. Good grief. Charlie Brown, Soupy, and the gang are 75 years old.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Charles M. Schultz's Peanuts comic strip began October 2nd of 1950 in just 7 newspapers. For the next 5 decades, Schultz wrote and drew every Peanuts strip. And today, the beloved comic strip is still featured in thousands of newspapers across the world, and the Peanuts gang is featured in online syndication, a new streaming series on Apple TV, books, and much more. Several museums around the country will have exhibits and events this year for the Peanuts' 75th.
I still love them to this day. I still love the specials and all the comes with Charlie Brown.
My dad has always talked about how he's grown up with them. I mean, I don't want to give away his age, but he's close to the Peanuts age. So it's, he was a kid when those like the Christmas, episode came out, or like the Halloween episode. So I mean, the classics.
All right. We're going to thank you for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. Of course, you can watch it here over the air or streaming.
Have a great start to your Thursday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Aaron Harley. Let's get right to an update on I-80 this morning with Senior Chief Rusty Lord.
Yeah, having some issues on I-80, both eastbound and westbound. Eastbound, there's a crash at 96th, and that's what we're showing you here. I don't see the crash, but you got a couple of police cars there. Oh, it might be just off the road right there. It looks like they ran off the road with that one. So that's where they're at. It's off the side, so you got to be slow through there. It's kind of bottling up a little bit. Eastbound near 96th Street. That's where that is, just to the east of the 680 interchange. Got the slowdowns on westbound I-80 through that construction there, causing some problems. And you can see further down through the construction as well on I-80. Some big issues again on the interstate system. Let's get a look at the forecast. That's going to be a little quieter today, and with numbers in the 60s as we're starting off, we're going to see those numbers climb a little bit due to the south wind that'll gust about 20 to 25 miles per hour today. So with that, it's a blustery one, a warm one, not all that humid though, near 80 at noon, about 87, 88 degrees for that afternoon high. 92 tomorrow. Yeah, we backed off a little bit on some of these highs, but they're still plenty hot. Not just going to get to records the way it looks, with the strongest winds still likely to set up on Saturday with a high of 90 both here and in Lincoln. But the wind gusts could go 30 to 40 miles per hour before the game and during the game after that 3 p.m. kickoff. Cerise?
Rusty, thank you. Concerned citizens voiced concerns outside Nebraska Representative Don Bacon's office hours after the government shutdown.
They demanded the government reverse cuts to Medicaid and end the shutdown.
Well, it is 7:28. We're back with another update for you in 25 minutes. We'll see you then.